all to LawSikho's thorough newspaper analysis for 20th August 2023. Starting with the today's editorial session, India's Rohingya refugee children are not criminals, which we are discussing from The Hindu. And nextly, then we will discuss the news update, which will include national news, international news, important days, awards in sport. And then lastly, we'll discuss about some legal news update from the High Court and the Honorable Supreme Court. Now, starting with the today's editorial session, just a clarification remark from the organization side that this particular article is not based on some codified concept or news. It is just an opinion-based editorial. Now, as we start with the editorial session, we certainly discuss about the what is the context that why we are talking about this editorial, what is the present situation, and what is the way ahead. India Rohingya refugee children are not criminals. A 5-month-old infant born to a Rohingya refugee died in detention holding center in Jammu in July. Now, a viral video shows police tear gassing a small congested area in the holding center having refugee women and children, as it is seen in the video. As the explosion occurs, one can hear the shrieks of the women and see children running in panic. The senior superintendent of police, Kathua, admitted that tear gas shells were used in an enclosed space, which is not ideal, but denied that the infant's death was caused by tear gas. What is important to note is that these people are not prisoners or criminals who are kept in jail-like conditions. The Rohingya of Myanmar are among the most persecuted people in the world. Now, 6 years since they fled. On August 25 marked 6 years since the Myanmar military launched a campaign of mass atrocities against the Rohingya in Rakhine State. These genocidal attacks, which began in August 2017, caused more than 770,000 Rohingya to flee. At least 20 of them are in India. In this particular holding center in Jammu, which was a prison before, more than 250 Rohingya refugees, including women and children, have been confined there since March 2021. Most of them have UNHCR cards that validate their identity as a refugee seeking safety. There are many troubling questions that arise from the Jammu incident. Why are refugees being treated as criminals? Why are they living in a prison-like facility? Why has their movement been restricted? Most troubling is why children are being held up as prisoners in detention center. These are children of an extremely vulnerable population that continues to fear ethnic cleansing. Globally, we have shared responsibility to protect them, help them survive and thrive, not imprison them, tear gas them, and leave them to die. Now, let us discuss what is the legislative aspect of this particular editorial. What lets the Indian authority act in an unaccountable and undeterred way, or is in the fact that India does not have a domestic law or consistent policy on refugees and asylum seekers. It is not signatory to 1951 Refugee Convention and its protocol that is of 1967 year. Refugees are seen as illegal immigrants and lumped with other foreigners under Foreigners Act 1946. The Act provides for unchecked executive power against foreigners and contains no exceptions for vulnerable population, asylum seekers and refugees. This has meant that despite UNHCR recognition, registered refugees in India are at risk of administrative detention under the Foreigners Act, that is under Section 3 subclause 2, criminal imprisonment, that is under Section 14, 14A, B and C, and deportation. Thus, hundreds of Rohingya refugees have been arbitrarily detained. Many languish indefinitely in India's jails and detention center. Many of them are children who do not even know of a world outside of the four walls of these places. Now, Article 6 of the UN Convention on the Rights of Child states that every child has an inherent right to life, survival, and development. India ratified the CRC in December 1992, hence holding children in detention facilities, denying them the freedom to access education or any other liberty is an absolute violation of this. The right to life and personal liberty is enshrined in the Constitution of India and is for all persons, whether citizens or foreigners. India's Juvenile Justice Care and Protection Children Act 2015 is for children who are in conflict with law. The Rohingya refugee children are not in conflict with law. They seek safety after fleeing for their lives. Almost 500 Rohingya refugees are detained in various detention centers and jail across India. Many of them are children. In New Delhi, the Sarai Rohilla Center in New Delhi has 4 to 5 children who are below the age of 5, with most in detention since infancy. They view the outside world a dusty lane in front of the center through the iron rods of a window. They are not permitted to play or to be in outdoors because of their identity of being a Rohingya refugees. Now, India Rohingyas need to follow some guidelines to ensure that no other Rohingya refugee child dies in a detention center in India, and that refugee children are treated in a manner that upholds their right to life and development. It is imperative that all Rohingya children and their primary caregivers are released immediately from detention. For all other Rohingya, the authority should follow the Government of India's internal guidelines, which was published in 2011 on the detention and treatment of refugees, which states that they should be released from detention within 6 months, subject to collection of biometric detail, with condition of local surety, good behavior, and reporting to the police every month. In the meantime, the National Human Rights Commission India should work with the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights to appoint a concerned person whose sole responsibility should be to investigate refugee detention center in India. Now, coming up to the national news of the day, Assam government issues notification banning plastic water bottles below 1 liter. The Assam Environment and Forest Department on August 23rd issued a notification prohibiting the use or manufacture, import, stocking, distribution, sale of plastic water bottles below 1000 ml capacity in the state. It is observed that the use of packaged drinking water bottle up to 1 liter, that is 1000 ml volume, and their pollution potential is higher than packaged drinking water bottles of larger volume, the official notification said. The notification further added that in the exercise of the powers conferred under Section 5 of the Environment Protection Act 1986, in accordance with the powers delegated to the state under Section 23 of the said Act, while Ministry of Environment and Forests, Government of India's notification dated February 10th, 1988, the Government of Assam has hereby prohibited the use or manufacture, import, stocking, distribution, sale, use of plastic water bottle below 1000 ml capacity in the state of Assam. It is also stated that this notification will come into force from October 2nd. Now, an additional news in concern with this particular notification, Minister of Assam for Environment and Forest is Mr. Chandra Mohan Patowari. Now, the next national news of the day, FSS, that is Financial Software Systems, announces launch of its new payment technology platform, Blaze. Financial Software Systems, a provider of payments and solutions, has announced the launch of its new payment technology platform, Blaze. This platform is specifically designed to cater to the needs of banks and the financial institution. FSS has revealed that its payment gateway, powered by Blaze, can process over 5,000 transactions per second. Additionally, the payments technology platform allows banks to achieve higher TPS, aligning with the increased adoption of the digital commerce within the country. FSS has made the Blaze platform accessible to customers in India, the Middle East, Africa, and has plans to introduce it in additional market in coming months. Traditionally, banks relying on legacy systems face challenges in terms of integration, customer experience, and rising transaction costs. Blaze aims to tackle these challenges by facilitating seamless integrations and enabling financial institutions to swiftly introduce innovative payment offerings, enhancing their competitive edge. According to V. Bala Subramaniam of FSS, Blaze represents a significant milestone in their journey of innovation. It embodies our commitment to innovation and reflects our vision for the future of payment. We have created a payment industry focused platform which will help banks achieve their digital transformation goals. Blaze enables banks and financial institutions to deliver novel and innovative payment experience to their customers. FSS handles over 3 billion transactions annually through FSS Neat, operates a nationwide network of 40,000 plus ATMs, and manages over 600 million mobile banking transactions each year. Now, the next national news of the day, Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan 2023 Madhya Pradesh IT Hub Indore secures first rank. The city of Indore has clinched the top spot in the Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan 2023 conducted by the Central Pollution Control Board in the category of cities with a population exceeding 10 lakhs. The Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan 2023 witnessed a remarkable display of dominance by Madhya Pradesh, particularly in categories of cities with a population of more than 10 lakhs. Out of top 5 position, 2 were secured by cities from the state. While Indore claimed the first position, Bhopal secured the 5th rank. So, these are the top 5 cities: Indore, then Agra, Thane, Srinagar, and then Bhopal. PM Modi announces August 23 as National Space Day, lauds ISRO scientists. In congratulating the Indian Space Research Organization for taking Make in India to the moon, Prime Minister Narendra Modi declared that 23rd August, the day of Chandrayaan-3 lander module touchdown on the lunar surface, will henceforth be observed as the National Space Day. He also announced the naming of Chandrayaan-3 landing site as Shiv Shakti Point and the crash site of the failed Chandrayaan-2 mission in 2019 as Tiranga Point. Now, let us talk about Chandrayaan-3 mission. Is a follow-on mission to Chandrayaan-2 to demonstrate end-to-end capability in safe landing and roving on the lunar surface. ISRO scripted history as Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft made a soft landing on the surface of Moon Wednesday evening. The Vikram lander made the soft landing at 6:04 p.m., ending the disappointment over the crash landing over the Chandrayaan-2 lander 4 years ago. With a mission success, India has become the first country to land a spacecraft in uncharted territory near the lunar South Pole. In fact, India is only the 4th country in history to complete a soft landing on the moon after the United States, the Soviet Union, that is Russia, and China. According to ISRO, the mission's 3 objectives are to demonstrate safe and soft landing on a lunar surface, to demonstrate a rover roving on the moon, and to conduct in situ scientific experiments. Now, the next national news of the day, Professor Gobardhan Das appointed as new director of IISER Bhopal. Professor Gobardhan Das has been appointed as the new director of Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, Bhopal. Before assuming this position, Professor Das was a professor and a chair of Special Center for Molecular Medicine at Jawaharlal National University. He is the 3rd director since the inception of IISER Bhopal in 2008. Professor Das is a PhD in immunology, hosts pathogen relationship from the Institute of Microbiology Technology, Chandigarh. He is associated with professional organizations such as Molecular Immunology Forum and Guha Research Council. He also holds editorial position in PLOS One, Microbacterial Diseases and Frontiers in Immunology. Further, Professor Das also holds honorary positions at Adjunct Professor, Houston Methodist Research Institute, Houston, USA, and adjunct professor, Suzhou University, Suzhou, China. Now let us talk about about the organization per se. Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research are a prestigious centrally funded technical institution in India. The institutes were established by the Government of India through the Ministry of Education to provide education in basic sciences coupled with research at the undergraduate level. The next national news, University of Jammu takes lead in implementing NEP to 2020 in Jammu and Kashmir, designated nodal institution by UGC. The University of Jammu has been chosen as the front runner by the University Grant Commission to drive the application for national education policy in the UT of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, formation of 5 zonal committees. The UGC initiative encompasses the formation of 5 zonal committees to facilitate the voluntarily integration of NEP across higher education institutions across the nation. With this new mandate, the University of Jammu assumes a central role in fostering awareness, orchestrating programs, and providing guidance to higher education establishment with Jammu and Kashmir, ensuring the smooth implementation of NEP. In a recent meeting held on 18th August, the UGC unveiled its comprehensive work plan, which includes an upcoming symposium organized by the University of Jammu under the theme of skill development and employment. The move not only underscores the University of Jammu's dedication to advancing education, but also signifies a significant stride towards the realization of NEP 2020 transformative objective within the region. The next international news of the day, Chess World Cup 2023 final highlights. India's Pragnanda finishes second after a valiant fight with world number 1 Magnus Carlsen. Ramesh Babu Pragnanda versus Magnus Carlsen's Chess World Cup 2023 final. World number 1 Magnus Carlsen won his maiden World Cup crown after beating India's teenage sensation R. Pragnandan in the tiebreaker of the final in Baku on Thursday, that is 24th August. It was the first World Cup crown for Carlsen as the 32-year-old added the missing piece to his decorated trophy cabinet. With the silver medal finish at the Chess World Cup, Pragnanda booked his berth at the candidates tournament, becoming only the second Indian to do so. Now, let us talk about Pragnanda Ramesh Babu. He is an Indian Grandmaster and the 4th youngest GM in history. He earned the title at 12 years, 10 months and 13 days of age, and he is the youngest international master in history. He won a bronze medal with the India team at 2022 Olympiad. Later in 2022, he won the Asian Continental Chess Championship. Pragnanda's performance in the World Cup, which brought him to a 27 live rating, 20th in the world, also earned him a spot in 2024 candidates tournament. He is the 3rd youngest candidate in history after Carlsen and GM Bobby Fischer. Pragnanda obtained a live 2700 rating for the first time. His year continued with a 2nd place finish at World Cup. He had become the first Indian after Vishwanathan Anand to reach the final and was a victory away from joining the India legend at the top. A very proud moment for our country. Now, coming up to the legal update of the day from the Honorable Supreme Court in the case of S.K. Khaja versus State of Maharashtra. It talks about Section 307 IPC. Conviction for attempt to murder can be sustained even if injuries to complainant were very simple in nature. The Supreme Court observed that a conviction of an accused under Section 307 IPC can be sustained even if the injuries sustained by the complainant were very simple in nature. What is important is an intention coupled with the overt act committed by appellant accused, the bench of Justices Bella M. Trivedi and Dipakar Datta. Merely because the injury sustained by the complainant were very simple in nature, that would not absolve the appellant accused from being convicted for the offence under Section 307 IPC. What is important is an intention coupled with the overt act committed by the appellant accused. In the instance case, it was proved by the cogent evidence that the appellant accused had tried to assault the complainant with kupti and that too on his head. Though the complainant received injury on his right shoulder while avoiding blow on his head from the blunt part of the gupti, such an overt act on the part of the appellant accused would covered by an offence punishable under section 307 IPC. The next news update is also coming from the Honorable Supreme Court in the case of State of West Bengal versus Mithul Kumar Jana. Appointment can't be denied, citing suppression of material facts when employer's query was vague. In a case related to suppression of material information about a pending criminal case by a candidate, the Supreme Court highlighted the crucial aspect of specificity when seeking information from candidates during the verification process. It reiterated the principle laid down in Avatar Singh versus Union of India for determining suppression of false information. Attestation verification form has to be specific, not vague. Only such information which was required to be specifically mentioned has to be disclosed. If information not asked for but is relevant comes to knowledge of the employer, the same can be considered in an objective manner while addressing the question of fitness. However, in such cases, action cannot be taken on the basis of suppression or submitting false information as to the fact which was not even asked for. That's all for the today's editorial section and the news update. Thank you for watching. Keep learning.